That's it.
It's the last frontier.
That's
DC is gone. Philly, damn near gone.
Gone.
New York, gone.
Yep.
So, like, if you're interested in real estate and you want to change your family, economic condition, honestly, black folks on the East Coast economic condition, like, honestly, you say it's in a fragile state, like some of the developers may go. I say, man, get the fuck out. Honestly,
Yeah.
Hey, black folks, let's go. Let's take this motherfucker. Let's take this city.
And I'm okay with that attitude, but I will say this. You want the large money because you want to follow the money.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you follow the money, you rarely lose. So if you see a neighborhood where they're getting ready to put up 50 units, 100 units, follow the money, buy in the neighborhood. Why? Because that means the roads are going to improve. That means there's going to be street lighting there. So you want to follow the money, right? Don't be a lone ranger. Yeah. I've been there. I've done that. I've learned that lesson. I've been in neighborhoods where, I've lost money simply because I was first. I've been in neighborhoods where I made money and set the market price where other investors came back and killed it because I was the lone ranger. So you got to make sure you follow the money. But I will say this. You're on to something because it is the last frontier. Baltimore City is the last frontier on the entire East Coast. There is no other city, major city like Baltimore. It is the largest shipping port on the East Coast. You have the most automobiles delivered in Baltimore City than anywhere else in the entire United States. So there is a lot of activity, economic activity there. Under Armour is based there as they continue to grow. They just issued Steph Curry his own brand inside of Under Armour. There's going to be opportunities in the city. Johns Hopkins is continue to expand. There's many other hospitals there. As you mentioned, tech is potentially coming. So there's opportunities, but as a whole, it's still in a fragile state because we're in a fragile state as a country right now.
Yeah.
Right.
I was going to say, it's not really an opinion or to disagree or agree, but I guess more so a rebuttal. Is it necessarily bad that if DC didn't, not DC, but Baltimore didn't stay as that, last black home front? Because, we got, what is it when they say,
gentrification.
Yeah, gentrification and everything, but the economic benefits that have came from it, the decrease in crime and, all those things is, I would say has a more positive effect than negative effect on the city. I think it's just more so how you were just saying, we got to be educated and, know not only where to follow money, but how to follow the money and what to do, when those type of opportunities arise. Because the same things, what's going on in DC, we just didn't know, to buy the property, or our families that own most of those properties in DC got brought out for such a low price because they got waived this fat check that they ain't know 5 years later, your $300,000 property is really worth $1.2 million, but you didn't have the proper education, so you jumped the gun. So that's where more so my mind is at. I can't really say like, you would hope and want to see an all black community or all black city, but it's not gonna happen.
So
it's not realistic to me.
I'll let Tony answer that, then I'll because I have an opinion on what you just said.
But it's just not realistic.
It's not gonna happen. It's not realistic. So you got two types of gentrification. This is where most of black people in particular get it wrong. Right? Okay. We think gentrification just means that there's a racial component to it. Gentrification is also a major income component to it.
Educate me, my brother.
What does that mean? Let me give you an example. Okay. Just because there is going to be gentrification in Baltimore, and there is going to be gentrification, it's already occurring.
Right.
What that really means in particular for Baltimore, where almost 80% of the population, it's crazy, almost 80% of the population rents. Okay? It means that unfortunately, most of those renters are going to get pushed out. That doesn't mean that black people that are middle income, upper income are not going to come in and take advantage of buying here.
Raise the property taxes and raise the
Exactly.
tax base.
That has happened in DC. In DC, there is a lot of black money here. You know, people say this is like black Atlanta in DC with degrees, right? It's one of the highest, most educated places on earth in Washington, DC. And you have a huge African American population here, but they're well educated and they are high income compared to the rest of the country. Prince George's County, it's the wealthiest, predominantly African American county in the entire country.
Second now.
Yeah, Charles.
Well, Charles County has. and
Are you going to count Waldorf now?
and simply, I'm going to tell you why. It's the same thing that we're referring to here, because Waldorf in Charles County used to be what? Predominantly white. Predominantly white.
Man, was it?
But the major thing that occurred, they started building houses that were less expensive, and individuals got priced out of DC, Prince George's County, and they said, "Oh, I'm gonna move out here, even if I got to sit in traffic, because the major arteries are always clogged. I get more for my bang for my buck."
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why now you got individuals that still work in DC.